Dr. Jeff DIY here. My Jeep had a leak under the valve cover, so time to change the gasket. Here's how you do it. First, you got to take off the throttle cables, which I'm doing here. The other two you can just kind of pull towards the driver's side.
Let's pull on that one.
Get it off, as I'm showing you.
Pull on that one.
Then you got to take off these two bolts, which are 10 millimeters. They're kind of there by the intake and fuel rail. Get those guys off. And now the assembly there is free, and you can detach the cords. So now it'll be free floating. What you want to do is strap this up to the hood to get it out of the way, so it won't be hanging where you're working. Now you got to take off the CCV. This is the front part there and the back part. I have a whole video about a CCV upgrade, which you could check out. It's 8mm on my hose clamps here to the thermostat housing. Put a bucket underneath because you're going to have a little leakage. Then wiggle that hose off and wiggle off the other one. I suppose you don't have to do this, but I wanted to remove some of the excess coolant so it wouldn't be leaking when I was working on it. And then I made a diagram here of where all the bolts and posts are going to go so I could keep them in order for when I replace them in the reinstallation. I used an 11mm open socket to be able to get down through the post there and get that off. Here's what it looks like. There's also some more typical bolts, and they're also 11mm.
Just looks like a nut head.
This one in the back is pretty tricky, so I used a flexible extension to get to it. That there is a nut that holds on a electrical ground, and it was a different size, as I indicated. If you have somebody who could help you lifting up these cables, it helps to get back there. Here I'm taking off that nut that was in the back that's a different size. Try not to drop it. It's the back of the engine. Oh, there it goes. Had to use a magnet to get that one out.
Fell out.
Now again, if you had a helper to lift up those cables by the firewall, this would be a lot easier. But you can still do it by yourself, as I'm showing here. Reached around in the back, and there it is. Now we got the valve cover off. You need to pop out the grommets along the valve cover. They become like plastic because they heat up. Here I'm showing you that it was a little uneven, and I wonder if that could have contributed to a warped surface in effect, which could have led to some leaking. These are all the little bits of the rubber grommets that turned into plastic that broke off when I popped them out. You want to make sure that that doesn't go back in the engine. And very important, you got to clean off everything with brake clean. I did the top and the undersurface. That way you get a good clean mating surface for the gasket. This was extra. I just sanded off some rust that I noted because I had it off free and easy. And I thought, hey, might as well give it a little paint job. And now it's looking pretty good. Okay, back to the Jeep now. Take off the old valve cover gasket. Just kind of lift it up, peel it up. That round part goes in the back and that oval part towards the front. You'll see on the new one. There's the round part in the back. Here I'm just showing you that you want to make sure that you clean off the part of the engine of all grimes. That way you can get a good surface. And now a word from our sponsor.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
A crummy commercial?
Back to the show. Part 2, reinstallation. Now, to get those rubber grommets in, put your thumb in the middle of the circle of the rubber grommet and then push straight down. Be sure to verify on the other side that it actually went all the way through. Then you put in the metal ring through the rubber grommet. And they'll be sitting a little bit proud or on top of the rubber grommet, as you can see here. That's how it should look before you install it. Here's the gasket that you buy, or at least I bought. and I think most people get.
Have to line up.
This is what I was talking about earlier. The round hole goes towards the back and the oval slot towards the front. And it'll go through some pegs that are on the engine. Here I'm showing just how it's oriented. Everything's clean. Now it's time to put the valve cover back on. Again, if you had a helper, that would make it a lot easier to pull those cords up. But you basically dip it down in the back to get underneath them, then wiggle it around until you can get it to fall in place. There it is. Here's that guide I had again as I'm putting in all the components back in the slots where they came from originally.
Okay, Haynes manual and some people online say 55 inch-pounds, but the factory service manual says 85 inch-pounds. So let's see what the actual difference is starting at 3 o'clock as far as how much more you turn it. Okay, ready? Just barely a few degrees, maybe like 15 degrees extra turn of the bolt, so it's really negligible. So you just snug them all up and then we'll put things back together.
And then, of course, we got to put on that nut in the back, which is a grounding nut. That one was the tricky one. Get all the cords and everything reattached and start her up. I hope you enjoyed watching and this video helped you out. If it did, please hit like so it's easier to find by others. Consider subscribing. If I save you some money, maybe buy me a cup of coffee. No annoying subscription needed. This is Dr. Jeff DIY. Signing off. I'll see you the next time something breaks.